Baby girl was draped in Chanel, said she loved Tupac but hates some LL. Seen her at the bar with anklets and toe rings. She could take a prince, turn him into a king. I was looking at her in the limelight, pearly white. Said a man get paper but he don't live right. All these emotions flowing inside the club. Do you really want a thug or do you want love? She get the paper when it's time to get. She keep these clowns thinking like chapter quick. Honey smoke, make you click, feel it in their throat. No joke, all these love letters they wrote out. Behind every player is a true playette. Bounce you up out of there, push your jack. Taste the choice, have it nice and moist. Or play paper games and floss the Rolls Royce. Something like a phenomenon. 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 You was king of seduction, copy suction. Now she with a cat that work construction. Starver with the paper, abusing mine. Just a new lover when you know it's unreal. That's off top, lap dances got to stop. You play out your chick cause your game is hot. I did it too, Italian ice, my whole crew. He's banging off my chest till I'm black and blue. We beefing, yelling on the ceiling by 6. You reaching, then I heard the cordless click. Now you club hopping, keep the crystal popping. Use my chips and take the next man shopping. Hell no, must be out your on your knees and your elbows each and every time. That's why I love you, mommy. You run your mouth, throw your legs over the bed, baby, work me out. Something like a phenomenon. 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 You was all souped up, but played it just right. Mommy, I was full blown, my game was airtight. I needed to switch up and get it in gear. It's a whole new movie, world premiere. Yeah, keep it jingling, no more mingling. A brand new year, me and you can bring it. I was sick and tired of the freaking night to morn. Boning in the mirror with my Cubans on. Let bygones be bygones, no more games. Hope all the chicken heads go up in flames. We in the brand new mansion with the lake in back. You got it all figured out, mommy, I like that. Collect chips, cop his and her whips. To waste $250,000 on clothes is sick. But you worth it, play girl, it's real in the field. Say what you want, but keep your lips sealed. Something like a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon. Something like a phenomenon.